Welcome to a Cincy fan talking with LP, and this is the host with the most, LP. Yeah, bump it up, bump it up. Ooh, how old is that? Bump it up. We still saying pump it up. Like we serious? We serious, LP? That's what we doing. We saying pump it up. What's next? We raising the roof. Excuse me breaking out circa 1995 slang. I don't know what I'm on. I guess I'm just giddy because the Reds have made it to the playoffs. Hey, you couldn't have told me this a month ago. Let me tell you. If you're a Mets fan out there, hey, my bad. If you found this pod, you're not gonna find somebody that's about to like. I'm really happy you guys imploded. We couldn't have done this without you. I mean, that's a hell of a shame, but hey, welcome to the pod. This is LP. You got a Cincy fan talking with LP. Had to flip the whole order of what we doing here because we can't talk about the Bengals pooping the bed before we talk about the Reds, hashtag bars, making it to the playoffs. Let's go. Hey, get them a cheer. Hey, let's go. Yo, man. Just thinking about it is wild, you know? Just thinking about them being in the playoffs in a year like this, where the Reds went three straight games losing 1-0. I'm not making this up. They lost three straight games by a score of 1-0. Look it up. I'm not joking. They went on a five-game losing streak and were, I think, 5 or 6 games out of first place or the third wild card spot 2 weeks ago. It was all bad. We were already writing off the season. Look, man, you can't really watch your local squad play baseball unless you have real live cable. Like you have to have Spectrum or Comcast or something like that, or maybe DirecTV. I think they got like the FanDuel or whatever. But other than that, I'm just consistently wiping down on ESPN waiting for the upload. Like we was really on that. Now you got to understand, you don't really hear me talk about the Reds too much because there was nothing to really talk about. Ask anybody that lives in that's from the soil. Cincinnati will always be a baseball town. Always. Like we love our Bengals. We love Joe. We love Joey B. We love Jamar Chase. We love T. Higgins. We love the Bengals all the way back to Big Boomer Esiason throwing the rock, getting us to the Super Bowl. We love the Bengals, but this is a baseball team. It really is. If you don't believe me, come come and see what happens in Cincinnati on the first game of the season. Come see opening day. People call off of work, go to opening day. Like people just really skip work and go to opening day. There's a huge parade downtown every single year celebrating opening day. All the news stations just shut everything down, and that's all they talk about. We love the Reds. And the messed up part about what's been going on for the longest is that once July and August hits, there's really nothing to cheer about. That's the thing. There's nothing to talk about. W- We've wanted for so long to get behind the team. We had the COVID year, when they made the playoffs in 2020, but that was one of those things where, I mean, who didn't make the playoffs? I think like 8 teams made the playoffs that year. Who didn't make the playoffs? And we got busted up first round. And that may happen this year. You know, we're playing the Dodgers. So they got that $97 billion payroll, and we have to go to LA to play them. So it's not looking good. But this is a 3 game, this is the best of three. And the Reds cannot score to save their lives. Luckily, we play a Great American Ballpark, which is like Coors Field East, and you can just send stuff out of there. But our pitching is phenomenal. Hunter Green's taking the mound first. We got Andrew Abbott rolling through. We have the pitchers to get through a 3 or 5 game series, like for real. People should be scared. It's just scoring runs. We have to figure out ways to score runs. And if we can figure out a way to score, I'm telling you, us against the Phillies. It's us against the world, man. Like for real. I'm just excited to be here talking to you, awesome Cincy fan talking listener. I'm happy to be talking to you about the Reds in October. I knew that Terry Francona would get the squad up to better heights. I was just hoping they would beat the Guardians and get the Ohio Cup back. That was really all I wanted. Everything else was icing on the cake. If anybody tells you they expected the Reds to make the playoffs, they're lying to you. But now that we're here, game on. Let's get it. I mean, the it was just wild looking at the scores for the last game of the season today and not even caring about football on a Sunday in late September. I'm happy to be here with you fans from Toronto and Milwaukee and Boston and New York, the Yankees. They really do this every year. Happy to be here, for at least one year. Hopefully we can make it two. But it's I could be talking to you about this, and by Wednesday, it's all she wrote. That could be possible. But however, once you make it to the postseason in baseball, anything can happen. It's really a crapshoot. Low key, for my non-sports fans, I got a lot of non-sports fans that listen. For you non-sports fans, once you make it to the playoffs, literally anything can happen. The best team rarely wins in the playoffs. Rarely. If anybody tells you that's not the case, they're lying to you. Usually, a team that has no business in the playoffs makes a run, and that's what everybody is watching. That's what normally happens. The best team almost never wins, especially in baseball, because baseball is like one of those games where you're it's a hard sport. Like it just is. People get paid millions upon millions of dollars for getting a hit 30% of the time. In my class, that's an F. If you pass 30% of the time, you're failing. Over with. Baseball is one of those games where anything can happen. It's hard to hit a baseball going 95, 96 miles an hour. And because of that, the ball can bounce any kind of way. I'm not saying there's no skill involved. There's crazy skill to be a baseball player. It's just that things happen and nobody can explain. And we got to see what happens. I'm not about to write off the Reds, especially given the fact that they shouldn't even be here. And because of that, there's no pressure on them. That Dodgers payroll, there's a lot of pressure on them to repeat. Oh, my head says Dodgers in three. Reds take the first game, Dodgers win the next two. My heart says Hunter Green and Andrew Abbott put on some phenomenal performances and they win two straight. That's what my heart says. Don't gamble. So I'm not listening to my head or my heart and putting money up. I'm basically watching with my heart. Forget my head for the next couple of days. Later for that. Hey, and this one belongs to the Reds. Let's get it. As far as the Bengals, this will be a pretty short conversation. If you're here for a whole lot of Bengals talk, there's not much to talk about until the Bengals play the Broncos tomorrow night. Hey, shout out to Jeff out there. Is us against y'all, man. Don't do us too bad. I'll just put it out there like that. By the way, make sure y'all catch Death on Taxes podcast. I talked about them a few times. They got a really good operation going on over there. Check out Ben and Jeff and all of them, man. They do their thing. Um, but the Bengals is really gonna come down to two things. Number one, Jake Browning has to get the ball out quick. Them Denver boys, that defense, they are not playing games. We saw a whiff of it last year when they came to Paycor, and that ridiculous game happened last year. So we saw that. We definitely know what could happen with their defense. I mean, they got out. Now, honestly, everybody gets after Burrow, so I get that. But the Broncos, like, they did it without really rushing a lot of people. And that's scary, especially for a line like the Bengals that can't really block. If they're not rushing many people and still getting to Browning, because they're gonna blitz. They have a lot of faith in their secondary, which they should. Sertan is a beast. So expect a lot of stunts, expect a lot of, misdirection with the line. It's gonna be crazy, and the Bengals have to deal with that. Browning has to get the ball out quick. Low key, that's what made him successful in that stint a couple of years ago when he went 4-3. They got mollywopped in the first game against Pittsburgh, kind of like what happened with them against Minnesota. They got smacked. And then they figured out, hey, look, he's a timing QB. Couple drop steps back, get the ball out, quick cuts, which leads us to number two, the running game. Yo, if there's no running game, Jake Browning has no chance, and the Bengals have no chance. That's true with any football team going from Pee Wee up. If you don't have a running game, you're one dimensional. And if you're one dimensional and you don't have your star QB, it's going to be a problem. So get the ball out quick. The running game must show up. We don't need Chase Brown to go off for 152 yards. At least average 4 yards a carry. If you can give us 4 yards a carry, we can work with that. What you don't want is a team like Denver to pin their ears back on 3rd and 11 every single time, especially in a place like Invesco Field. I can't call it Invesco. It's Mile High, but I grew up with it as Mile High. I hate to be that old dude, but it's Mile High. Come on. I think it's Invesco Field at Mile High. At least they kept it at Mile. Appreciate that. It's Mile High Stadium. It's one of the dopest venues in the league, man. It always has been. Ain't let those boys get at you on predictable downs. Got to be in 3rd and short. If they can do those two things, I feel like the defense is playing better than what people think. It looked so bad last week. I know it did, but all of those turnovers did not help the boys' cause. They were actually doing okay, but running out there after those short possessions and then, oh man, they turned the ball over again. We got to play D. They have to 30. Like it messes with your brain. So I'm gonna have faith in Al Golden and the defense. Feel like the Bengals can pull out an upset because of one thing, and then I can tip on out on this subject because it depresses me to talk about last week with the Bengals. There's one thing I think a lot of people are over. Now, I've said this before on the pod. It's really about you having pride in what you do. If you really care about what you do, there's no way you're gonna let what happened last week in this week. When I have a bad day at school, sometimes there'll be days where the kids just get over. They're talking too much, they're playing too much, they're not really doing anything they're supposed to. And I'm out of carrots. I'm out of sticks. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not much I can do. And I'm just looking at them. And I just sit down and I just look like we really decided not to do anything today. And they'll just be playing around like, ha, we're not doing anything. We got over. But I'm really thinking in my head, there's no way this is happening tomorrow. I'm in the lab tonight. I'm on my computer. I'm moving kids' seeds. I'm thinking of little cutesy punishments to give the kids that was talking too much and giving rewards to the kids that was trying to do their work. Like it's a new day, new me when I come in the next day. That's what it is. There's no way you're getting over on me twice. I'm about to have a run of good days because this bad day just pissed me off that much. That's because I really care about what I do. I'm not in there to just go like cashing a paycheck and kids just sit down. No, we're about to learn. And if we have a day where we don't, we're about to have 11, 12 straight what we do. And that failure, that's in my brain. Every time I see a kid on some mess, I'm like, oh, hold on. You was on that before. We're not doing that again. It's a wrap. That's what I feel like should happen with the Bengals. If they really care about what they do and how they get down as football players, there's no way what happened last week is happening this week. I don't care if it's the Ravens, the Broncos, the Eagles. Nah, you caught us on a bad week because last week was terrible. So for you, y'all get our best. Bengals 17, Denver 13. I'm really on that. I'm really thinking they about to hold these boys to 13 points. Don't listen to me and gamble. Look, I'm telling you, listen. Let me make sure I say that again. This is not the place you go to get tips on your spread in your parlay. This is not that. It on the off chance that I go like, okay, I'm about to go ahead and throw up $5. I hit Kurt up at $5 bets. That's what I do. I don't listen to my so that's my little PSA. You can imagine a little gamble responsibly thing on the on the bottom of the screen. For me, it would be like, don't gamble. Don't listen to me. Don't gamble. If you do, go somewhere else. Only use $5 or less. That's what you will see. Real vanilla over here. Just saying. Um, go Bengals. Um, go Reds. We in red mode for real. Hey, you heard about the stuff with Jimmy Kimmel, right? Um, everybody heard they tried to axe him out for a second, and everybody got him back up, and there was a whole firestorm about what he said and all of that. I'm not about to really dig into what he said for a lot of different reasons. I personally thought that the focus was on Trump's attitude towards what happened. That's what I thought. Other people took it a little bit differently, and that's the thing about jokes. When somebody takes it another way, that's how they take it. That's their interpretation, and you can't really get upset about that. I'm not Jimmy Kimmel, so I can only say what I thought. Even he put it out there. He was like, I could see why people would think that because jokes have nuance in them. And if somebody picks up on a different type of nuance, then that's where they're gonna go. And I'm not about to sit up here and say, no, he didn't say that. If that's what you kind of heard, how can I argue with that? You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are emotional about what happened, whether if I agree with them or not. Like somebody lost a father, you know what I mean? Somebody lost their husband. So no matter how you feel about what he said, like no matter how you feel about Charlie Kirk, the whole thing is we're not wishing that on nobody, especially like, what my families went through. We're not wishing something like that on anyone. And you're not about to hear me say but or nothing like that because that's a full stop and there's really nothing else to that. My whole point about late night television is that it's one of the last where not only do you hear free speech, but everybody's a target. You know what I mean? Like anybody famous is a target, anybody that did something dumb is a target, anybody that's popular in entertainment is a target. About 11:30, from about 11 on, tell your kid to go to sleep. Because there's no telling what you're gonna hear. I mean, that's the way I grew up with late night television. We had Johnny Carson, we had Jay Leno, we had David Letterman, and then we were lucky enough to be in that wave of late night television where they were trying to like reach out to black people. So we got to have Arsenio Hall. Once we got him, like the whole floodgates opened as far as you're gonna hear honest talk and it's not going to be biased. It might be biased because, the host feels some type of way. Anybody can get it. And the fact that you have like, governmental figures coming in and saying, you can't talk like that, you can't say that, or we'll pull your license, that's absolutely wild. Like it is. And no matter and what I appreciated was you heard people from all sides of the aisle saying, nah, that's not cool. You can't do that. That's how it used to be. That's how it used to be up until about 2016, 2017. I mean, types of friends from all different backgrounds, types of background, the whole political spectrum. And we were cool. We didn't agree with each other politically. Like some of my best friends back then, we used to have all types of debates politically because they were like strong Republican and I'm strong Democrat. So we would have all types of conversations and then go out and get dinner and then have our kids play together. Like it was like that. That's how politics used to be. Politics was like a small piece of the American life. And we understood that no matter what, we all agree on certain things. We all want our kids in good schools. We all want our kids to strive, like, for the highest. We all want to live in safe neighborhoods. We all want to make enough money to make sure we're all straight. That's universal. Like, it really is. And I feel like the late night carousel of hosts spoke to that. And to shut that down, you really can't do that. Like late night television is as American as it gets. That's why you saw like folks like Next Star and folks like Sinclair, they try to shut it down. Like we're not going to show this here, here, here. And you got to raise off of that real quick because what you don't understand is that you can silence that voice for a little bit, but this is America, and late night TV is as American as it gets. You can't really silence late night television. Not for real. There's always going to be somebody to fill that vacuum because now you have, Comedy Central, you have podcasts such as these. Like you can't really shut free speech down. As much as I hate the things that some people say on the right side, as much as I absolutely despise a lot of it, they get that off. Like they really do. And, hate speech is hate speech and free speech is free speech, no matter who's saying it from the left or the right. But you got to understand that as far as late night goes, I mean, take a cruise on Comedy Central and check out The Daily Show, followed by it's no holds barred. And it's one of those things to where you can't silence that because it's how people feel. And even if it's how people don't feel, they get to speak on how they don't feel. But if you silence it, all you're really doing is making it, how do I put this? The less access you give things, the more people want it. And that just kind of played into Jimmy Kimmel's hands for real. Like they really did him a favor. And what he did him that favor, he just kind of blew up even more. I thought he said a lot of dope stuff when he came back. I feel like he really did. And more than anything, and I think people are really starting to come around to this because this is how it used to be. And I'm slowly starting to see that change now. We are all more alike than the government gives us credit for. For real. Like when you really break everything down to its core, SNL did like a hilarious skit, like with it was Black Jeopardy. Jeopardy or Black Jeopardy on SNL, by the way, is absolutely goated. Sometimes I just go on YouTube and I just Google Jeopardy and Black Jeopardy and laugh. No matter which one, it is hilarious. But they had Tom Hanks on Black Jeopardy and he was playing like a MAGA guy and he's on Black Jeopardy. So they looking at him like, hey, this ain't gonna. But when they start asking them questions, his answers to the questions line up with how black people feel about the same questions. And we all looking like, hey, because when you really boil it down, we all really want the same things. For real. Talk to some people you really don't talk to, you think kind of lean a different way, and just ask them some core questions. I can almost guarantee you the answers will line up with how you believe. I mean, Chris Rock said it best. Nobody's completely Republican or completely Democrat. 85, 90% of us pretty much line up in the middle. For real. Just saying. All right, so let me tell you about something that happened in my classroom. And as soon as it happened, I started thinking about the pop. As soon as it happened, I'm like, up, y'all gotta hear this. So for my people that haven't been in classrooms for a while, Book It is like the rage. It's this awesome computer thing where you can take questions, in your classroom. You can kind of load up those questions, and the kids compete with each other to answer the questions. Whoever can get the most questions in the quickest amount of time, they get more points. And at the end, whoever has the most points win. It's pretty dope. And Blooket has it to where you can have a lot of different type of games. So we're playing a game where the more questions you get right, you get to open up like three treasure chests. And sometimes you can take other people's points. You can swap positions with them and stuff like that. Real, how do you put this? You see different sides of the kids. They tend to get really competitive. So, we're in there. I'm reviewing with the kids and I like to make it fun. So we're playing this game so they can have fun while we review. Typical Friday stuff. And we played the game three times. I say third place, two pieces of candy. Second place, three pieces. First place, five pieces, to kind of make it all a little bit more competitive. Plus, kids just like candy. So the first time we played, this girl wins. The second time we play, the same girl wins again. Now, on the scale of like smartest kid in the class to like the kid in the class that struggles the most, this kid is probably like a little bit above the middle tier. But she's quick on those answers and she's really good at the games we're playing. Like she's figured out how to play games. So she's winning. We start up the third game and the kids are like, oh, she better not win again. And this one guy goes like, "Hey, Mr. P, if she wins again, will it count? Because shouldn't certain people not be able to win if they already won?" To which I reply, "Nah, that doesn't make sense. It's not fair." To which I reply, "If you're playing basketball and you win twice and you get two trophies, didn't you get a third trophy if you win again?" "Yeah, I should." Just saying. "Yeah, you're right, Mr. P." I just found it weird that he asked that question. I'm like, er? A win is a win is a win. We're supposed to tell her to stop playing because she wins too much? That makes no sense. But I kind of shrug it off. So we play again. And wouldn't you know it, this girl wins again. At this point, she's rolling in candy. She has all the Jolly Ranchers stacked up around her. Excellent flex move. I'm like, hey, it's like flexing your Super Bowl ring. Like, I'm like, maybe you should sell a piece or two. She's like, maybe I should. I'm like, hey, it's your candy. And you start hearing kids grumbling, like, and I get it. Kids really want to, especially this crowd. This is a really smart group of kids. And they're like, and I start hearing kids say, no, it's not fair, man. And he helping her win. Nah, man. And I don't know what happened to me, but I didn't lose it. I didn't get upset. I didn't start yelling at the kids, but I just kind of said it was on my heart. And this is what I said. I'm like, check it out. First off, this is all on a computer. How am I helping her win? I'm sitting right here. She's way on the other side of the room. You think I'm shooting her answers? No, but it ain't fair. And I was just blunt. I'm like, look, if you don't like it, beat her. Win. Don't argue with me. Beat her. You focused on me sitting here like, doing my job, making sure the game doesn't freeze up. Meanwhile, she winning repeatedly. But you're upset with me. It makes absolutely no sense. The game is not unfair. Everybody has the same chance to win. Right now, she's better than you. If you don't like it, be better than. And the class kind of looked at me like, and you heard one girl say, "Locked it." I'm like, here we go. He's like, clocked it. He said that. I'm like, thanks. Appreciate you. We don't need that. Don't throw gasoline on the fire. But it's the part that I really don't like about athletics and about life in general now. We just don't like winners. Like, just admit it. Why do you hate Tom Brady? If you say because he cheats, I mean, I can kind of give you that he got caught cheating, the whole football thing. But dude got Super Bowls on Super Bowls on Super Bowls. The reason most people don't like him is because he wins too much. Don't you like Steph Curry and the Warriors? I'm tired of seeing his face. Why? Because he wins too much? You don't like Ohio State. If you say because I saw that surviving Ohio State thing, yeah, I get it. I'm a little conflicted at this. Not conflicted, but more like it's messed up that that could happen at a school that I love so much. Like it's really messed up, and you won't hear me defend it. I'm not. I'm not going to, because it's not fair to the people that it happened to, and you got to be held accountable when you do crazy stuff like that's wild. But a lot of people don't like Ohio State because they see them on TV too much because they win too much. They're saying people don't like Alabama because of that. It's weird. I grew up like respect you if you win, especially if you win fairly, especially if you win and you're humble about it. I don't really like the people that flex and all of that stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, you win, you choose how you celebrate. I never liked when my kids when they lost my basketball teams. I never liked when they got upset with the team how they celebrated. If you don't like it, play harder next time. We should have played harder this time. Coach should have coached better. That's me. I'm not about to be upset with them because they decided to keep their players out keep their star players in the whole game and they beat us by 50. That's their job. That's what they do. I can't run their team. All we can do is play. I was impressing this upon the kids in my class. I'm really hoping that they get it. I'm going to keep banging that message into their heads. Look, if you don't like the way something is going, work harder. Figure out how that person is beating you. Figure out how that subject is beating you and find a way to beat it. Don't complain. It just makes you look bad. Like for real. Man, you cheating. Really? Mr. P is cheating. I'm cheating. Please explain what I get out of this. I had to break that down to the kid. Like, I'm helping her win. Why? That's not my kid. I wouldn't even help my kid win. I really wouldn't. I'm not about to sit up here and help my kid. I'm not about to cheat for my kid in the game. Teaching her nothing at all. Except, hey, if dad's here, I'm gonna win automatically. Nah, they're gonna be harder on her. What do I gain by helping somebody win a computer game? Honestly, I told him this too. Honestly, I don't care who wins. This is review for the test. I don't care who wins. But we gotta respect winners more. For real. Like if you win, give them a high five or something. Please don't please don't raise kids to be like, oh man, they cheated every time they lose. You lost. It's just not cool. Feel like we're in a society where that's acceptable because we have grown-ups that do it. We have athletes that do it. It happens a lot. We got to make that stop for real. Winners win. People that lose, they use that as a lesson to help them win the next time they play. Never say losers lose. It doesn't work that way because everybody that wins at something, they lost a lot at first. For real. Either they lost time, they lost the actual game, they played repeatedly, they might have lost at a test. I mean, to be a teacher, we have to take this these wild sets of tests. The OAEs, like the Ohio Assessments for Educators. I failed one test. It's a ridiculous test. And they don't tell you the answers. Like if you miss them, they don't tell you the answers so you can study. I feel like it's a big money grab for real. And I really think that's why people like set up things so they can cheat. But I just had to keep working harder to pass it. And when I pass it, ain't like for real, because it's like a crazy test. I didn't sit up here and say that they cheated. I didn't sit up here and say, oh man, you know what? No, something's nah. You got to work hard. And sometimes you got to work harder. And sometimes you have to do things that you never done before in order to get places where you want to go. It's like that sometimes. But if you quit, or if you complain, or if you blame it on somebody else, you just won't get there. All right. End of sermon. Whew. Felt like I was lecturing the class for a second there. But I mean, that's just how it is. Before I ride out, I'm doing this thing where I'm just watching teacher movies and I'm putting them on a scale of like best to worst. And I feel like I saw the absolute worst, and then I saw one that's a little bit above. So which one we doing first? We doing the worst one? Let's start good. Let's start the one that's like a little bit above average. So I rewatched Bad Teacher. Yeah. Um, starring Cameron Diaz. Um, Phyllis from The Office is in it. Justin Timberlake is in it, and he was like hilarious in it. It's one of those movies where you expect it to be like bad because of who's in it, and it probably won't like really convey a message because they're only looking for laughs. But it was way more accurate than I thought it would be. You had the try hard teacher that tried way too hard and wanted props for everything. You had the introverted teacher who people had to bring out of their shell. You had the pseudo lazy gym teacher who was trying to get on with the other teacher. I'm not saying that all gym teachers do that. I'm just saying that happens sometimes. And then you have the teacher that really doesn't want to be a teacher, but she hasn't figured out what she wants to do yet. So she's there, and the kids can tell that she doesn't want to be a teacher. Um, so here's the synopsis. It's a wild synopsis when you think about it. Um, Girl wants a boob job, so she's trying to get her money right to get a boob job, but her man left her, and she was gonna quit teaching. So she jumps back into the teaching game. She's like, "Oh, if I get a boob job, I can attract the man that I want, and I don't have to work." So she doesn't give a crap about her job. Like she really doesn't care. She blows out the meetings. She's focused on getting this money up. So she's doing stuff like trying to have car washes and taking all the money. And she comes upon something to where she's like, if I become, the teacher, like the best teacher in the district or whatever, get big lump sum of money, and I can use that to get the boob job. Hilarity ensues. It's funnier than I thought it would be. I mean, she's trying to get the money, and then the try hard teacher finds out that homegirl's trying to outshine her, and she's like, "Whoa, this is what I do." It got pretty funny, and Justin Timberlake was hilarious in it. He plays like this dopey substitute teacher who's kind of sort of cool, but he's really dopey. And Cameron Diaz character tries to get on with him, but he doesn't like her, and he gets with the try hard teacher. The dynamic between Cameron Diaz and the Chihard teacher was hilarious. They did not like each other. And it's like that in school. There's this teacher and there's this other teacher. They do not like each other. And when they get together, you can feel it. I've seen it at like almost every school I've been in. And I just kind of like sit back and I just watch the sparks fly. Like it's really intense. And they're fake laughing at each other's jokes and they're throwing shade. Like, yeah, Somebody is letting their kids go to the restroom without a pass, and it's interrupting my class. Real shady stuff like that. Think about your workplace and the shady stuff that happens, like the petty stuff. That's basically what this movie was about. I would- it's not better than 187. So far, 187 is the best teacher movie. I'm saying so far because I've only done three. We will talk about movies that surpass 187. I would give what I give 187 like a seven or an eight. I think maybe a seven. I got to look back and see. This would get a five or six. Let's say five. Let's say five. And it's average as far as teacher movies go, but it's more realistic than I thought it would be. I give it a six. Let's not say five and a half. Let's say six. It's more realistic than I thought it would be. And because of that, and I guess because I'm a teacher and I got all of the subtle jokes, it made it funnier than I thought it would be. I would give it a six. Um, I would say watch it if you want to see something funny about teaching. I would say that. This next movie is a 0 out of 10. This is not a 1 out of 10. Found nothing positive to take from this movie. Now, it's my own fault because I saw another movie that I like. I saw The Devil's Advocate on Tubi, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that in a while. And I was about to watch it, and then I saw a movie called Teacher's Pet on the bottom, and I'm like, "Damn, watch a movie. I watch a teacher movie." And I clicked on it, and it was my own fault. It is terrible. Look at my face. Terrible. Can I look at your face? Feel my face when I say it. It's terrible. If you want to watch a bad movie about teaching with terrible acting and horrible sound quality, watch Teacher's Pet. The soundtrack, the music in the movie is terrible. There's nothing positive about this movie. Synopsis: Lady is married. She's a teacher. You have some hood teachers with her, and I don't know how they became teachers, but they're teachers. There's this guy. This I guess he's a singer. They all looked about 24. I don't know. He's a. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if this was a high school or like a college. I really don't know. I'm assuming it was a high school. You can't tell. It looked like they filmed this in some offices. I'm not joking. It really looks like they filmed this in some office or like a charter school that used to be like a warehouse or something like that. I'm going really hard on this movie because it was trash. He's absolutely verbally abusive to his girlfriend. Somehow, the teacher, the main teacher, thinks that she can help him, pass this or whatever, because he's supposed to pass his class and he's not doing well. So they start working together, and he takes him out for ice cream or something like that, and all of a sudden they start a relationship, and it goes bad because why are you having a relationship with your student? Oh my God. Like seeing stuff like that just makes my skin crawl. It makes me itch talking about it. Like ew. And then it goes off the rails from there, and he shoots him or something like that after he feels like three people. Yo, don't watch this movie unless you're like me and you continuously scan bad movies, and it makes my wife totally upset because I'm sitting here watching movies to laugh at them. She's like, "Why are you doing this?" I'm like, "Because it's funny." I shouldn't have watched this movie. It was terrible. 0 out of 10. This will probably be one of the worst movies that I review. Do not watch this movie. Do not watch this movie. Now, I've been hard on Tubi for a while. There's some solid indie content on there. I won't lie. There are some pretty good movies that are done independently with different city settings, like Nashville. There was one like done where am I? where my wife was born, like in Jackson, Tennessee. They did one there, and it was actually a good movie. There's solid indie content on Tubi. I didn't think there was before. This movie is not one of them. When I review more movies, I'll basically say this movie is bad, but at least it's better than Teacher's Pet. You'll hear me say that a lot. If I found a movie that's worse than this, I have to redo my whole scale and make negative numbers. Like for real, it was that bad. Don't watch this movie. This is like the baseline for bad movies when I start reviewing more. So I'll check out one or two more next week. I'll get a little bit better with the synopsis, but it was hard to find a synopsis for this movie because it was so trash and there's not a lot of content out there. If you acted in this movie and you hear this, like you happen to catch the, because everybody listens to a Cincy fan talking, right? I'm just saying. If you happen to hear this, please understand that when I say that it's a bad movie, respect anybody that does like anything creator content wise. As long as it's not, racist or sexist or something like that. You tried. And I'm not saying that to be facetious. Like you tried. And for that, for putting your work out there, we always respect. Even if we don't like it, we respect the fact that you did it and you should go ahead and pat yourself. A lot of people are afraid to put themselves out there. So the fact that you did is cool. It was just a bad move. Maybe it was you guys' first one and you have like better ones out there. So if you do, let me know. Just saying. Speaking of that, if you want to let me know, you can catch me on the socials at a Cincy fan talking. Leave off the G, and you'll find me. Hashtag bars. Maybe I should be a rapper. Maybe we should just play the music because rapping is not gonna happen. Hey, go Reds, go Reds, go Reds. Life is good, y'all. See y'all later.